It has certainly been a significant day in the Harvey Weinstein trial. The media mogul's defense team gave its closing arguments, which will be followed by the prosecution tomorrow and jury deliberations next week. And I want to bring in my colleague, Juju Chang, to get a sense of where things stand with this case. Let's start with the defense. I mean, really quite a closing argument today. And the head prosecutor was talking about how she felt that the women were victims, but victims of the prosecution, victims of the state. And this particular quote where she was saying how the prosecution is living in this alternative universe, she said, in that universe, women are not responsible for the parties they attend, the men they flirt with, the choices they make to further their own careers, the hotel invitations, the plane tickets they accept. I mean, really raising some eyebrows with the implications here.
Absolutely. And that really gets to the heart of the defense's strongest argument, basically, that these women, and they brought out email after email during the trial saying that these women were involved in consensual sexual affairs and getting favors in response and asking for these kinds of favors to further their career. Now, Donna Rotuno gave a 5-hour closing argument today, which by all accounts was riveting. And she essentially said, look, these are sins, not crimes. You might not like Harvey Weinstein. You don't have to like Harvey Weinstein. This is not a popularity contest. But at the end of the day, no one disputes that Harvey had sex with these women. He just says it was consensual. Now, in many ways, you know, you've covered this story for a while now. This is a watershed moment for the Me Too movement because of the legal implications. And at the heart of it is, can there be a sexual assault in the midst of a consensual relationship?
That's where it's so complicated.
Right. And the prosecution brought forward experts to say not only can it happen, it does happen. And very often women don't report. They remain in contact with the person who they allege assaulted them. And it's potentially precedent-setting in many ways, mostly because prosecutors don't go after these cases because they're so murky. So this has a potential to be a precedent-setting case.
And what's also interesting is, Rotuno, she made some headlines as well outside of the court with what she said in this exchange from the New York Times podcast, The Daily. Take a listen.
Oh, and I had another question, which was whether or not you've been sexually assaulted.
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. Because I would never put myself in that position.
So you're saying, okay, actually, I'm sorry. So you're saying that you're saying that you have never been sexually assaulted because you would never put yourself in the position of being sexually assaulted?
No, I've always made choices from college age on where I never drank too much. I never went home with someone that I didn't know. I just never put myself in any vulnerable circumstance, ever.
I mean, Juju, how do you respond to that? What did you make of that?
Well, a lot of women say that is classic blaming the victim, right? This idea that if somebody has their watch stolen, they're like, how much did you drink? Why were you wearing that dress? Those are questions that are only asked in sexual assault cases. Now, she also got in hot water because the judge specifically asked the lawyers not to talk about the women accusers. And when the judge said, when did you do that interview? She said, oh, Judge, it was a long time ago. And that's when the New York Times came out and said, no, that interview was a week ago.
And how about tomorrow, if we fast forward to the prosecution's closing argument? They're feeling confident?
I think so. I mean, I think if you were to sum up what the strategy would be for the prosecution, it would be believe the women. They didn't just bring in 1 woman or 2 women. They brought in 6 women to show past prior bad behaviors, which you know was an effective legal tactic during the Cosby trial, but also this pattern of predatory sexual behavior. And that's when they brought in Annabella Sciorra. You remember, she's the Hollywood actress who played Tony Soprano's girlfriend in The Sopranos, and she came in and gave a graphic, at times emotional account of the night that she says Harvey Weinstein pushed into her New York apartment and raped her. And, you know, there was a lot going on in the courtroom during those days because then Rosie Perez came in. They were young actresses together and basically corroborated in real time that, yes, this is what Annabella told me what happened, and eventually, you know, in her mind, you know, sort of was a contemporary witness. So as far as the prosecution's strategy is concerned, it would be believe the women.
And those prior bad acts witnesses, I think that made all the difference in the Cosby case. Juju Chang, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence tonight. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.